We've seen Supergirl move planets and go toe-to-toe with gods. She's often called the most dangerous Kryptonian because she doesn't hold back. But what happens when she meets a fighter who literally never gets tired? Today on Cosmic Hero Chronicles, we're breaking down the crossover fight you've been asking for. It's the solar-powered powerhouse versus the infinite engine. Most people think Supergirl takes this with brute strength, but I'm going to show you exactly why Android 18 is her ultimate tactical nightmare. Let's dive in. Section 1. The Biomechanical Paradox, Android 18 Analysis. Welcome back to the Chronicles. Today, we're dissecting a fighter who breaks the very laws of battle we usually see in Dragon Ball. Lazuli, known to the world as Android 18, isn't just a cyborg. She is a walking violation of thermodynamics. While every other fighter in this series, from Goku to Vegeta, operates on a battery of ki that depletes with every punch, 18 is powered by the infinite energy reactor. In this first section, we are calculating exactly why infinite is the most dangerous word in physics when applied to a combatant who never hits a ceiling. To understand her full power, we have to look back at the Android saga. This is 18 at her mid-level, yet she achieved something no villain had done with such cold efficiency. She broke a Super Saiyan. Let's look at the physics of that fight with Vegeta. A Super Saiyan's durability is astronomical, but it relies on an active ki shield. As the fight dragged on, Vegeta's ki fluctuated. 18's did not. We've calculated the force required to snap a Saiyan's humerus. We're looking at millions of newtons of concentrated biomechanical force. 18 didn't just hit hard, she hit with the exact same 100% output from the first minute to the last. At this mid-tier level, her threat isn't just speed or strength, it's the fact that she is a flatline fighter. She exists in a perpetual state of peak performance. Most fighters have a burn rate. 18 has a sustain rate. At this stage, her output was already reaching low planetary levels, capable of shrugging off big bang attacks that would vaporize cities, simply because her internal reactor can generate an energy barrier that matches the incoming force without taxing her physical stamina.
Now, let's fast forward to the Tournament of Power. This is where 18 jumps from a planetary threat to a cosmic heavyweight. In her battles against Universe 2 and beyond, we see the full power of the androids. Many fans ask, how did she keep up with God-tier threats? The answer lies in the cumulative energy theory. If a fighter like Supergirl has a peak strength of 100, but drops to 80 after 5 minutes of combat, 18, who might start at an 80, will eventually win because she stays at 80 forever. In the Tournaments of Power, her photon strikes and high-pressure blasts were being fired at a rate that would drain a standard martial artist in seconds. We are talking about thousands of blasts, each with the potential to crack a moon, delivered in a continuous stream. Her full power is defined by her infinite stamina. When we scale her against multiversal opponents, her energy signature doesn't grow larger, it just becomes more dense. Her android barrier at full power is a mathematical nightmare. It's an absolute defense that can withstand concentrated ki that has been shown to shake the world of Void.
Section 2. The Solar Battery, Supergirl Analysis. Now we shift our focus to the other side of the battlefield. Kara Zor-El, the Supergirl. While Android 18 is a closed-loop system of infinite energy, Supergirl is a biological solar battery with a ceiling that hasn't been found yet. To understand how she stacks up against 18's relentless output, we have to look at the physics of her cells and how she graduated from being Superman's cousin to a cosmic force that can move the stars themselves. In her mid-tier phase, think post-Crisis and early New 52, Supergirl was already breaking planetary records. While Android 18 was shattering Saiyan armor, Kara was shifting tectonic plates and towing massive starliners. The physics here is all about solar absorption. Unlike Superman, who spent years slowly soaking in the yellow sun, Kara's arrival on Earth was a shock to her system, often leading to raw, unfiltered bursts of power. At this mid-level, her strength is already physically superior to 18's baseline. We're talking about the ability to withstand 1 trillion tons of pressure. However, her mid-tier weakness is her recharge rate. If she is kept away from a yellow sun, her cells begin to drain. In this 8-minute window, we analyze her fight with the World Killers, where she proved that even a mid-tier Kryptonian can survive a blast that would level a solar system, provided she has enough yellow radiation stored in her marrow. But then we reach her full power evolution, the Red Lantern phase, the rebirth feats, and the terrifying potential of sun dipping. This is the Kara who can fly through the heart of a red giant and come out the other side unscathed. If Android 18 represents stamina, full-power Supergirl represents magnitude. When Kara is fully saturated with solar energy, her speed reaches multiples of the speed of light, making 18's photon strikes look like they're moving through molasses. We're analyzing the Super Flare, a total release of solar energy that can incinerate everything in a multi-mile radius. In these final minutes of analysis, we calculate the energy output of a sun-dipped Supergirl. We are looking at Nova-level energy. While 18 can fire forever, Kara can fire once with the force of a collapsing star. It's the ultimate clash of quantity versus quality.
The fight starts fast. Supergirl takes control immediately. Speed blitzes, raw Kryptonian force, overwhelming early exchanges. Android 18's barrier starts cracking under pure magnitude. For a moment, Supergirl looks untouchable, but there's a hidden problem: every burst costs energy. Even under a yellow sun, recovery isn't instant and continuous combat. The rhythm starts breaking. Slight delays, micro gaps between peak attacks. The wave begins to lose structure. But there's a hidden problem: every burst costs energy. Even under a yellow sun, recovery isn't instant and continuous combat. The rhythm starts breaking. Slight delays, micro gaps between peak attacks. The wave begins to lose structure. Now the shift starts. Supergirl still has higher peaks, but she can't chain them cleanly anymore. The gaps between attacks get just big enough for 18 to read, react, and punish. Consistency starts beating raw output. Final moments, Supergirl goes for another full burst to break through. Timing slips, even a fraction off. That's enough. Android 18 lands a clean counter at full output, same force as minute 1. Same density, no loss in power. End result, Android 18 wins. Not by being stronger at her peak, but by never leaving her peak.
A huge thank you to all the Cosmic Hero Chronicles fans for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more epic adventures.